shout out to all the skillful DJs, all the these different type of DJs now.
It's levels, bro.
Yes, it's levels.
It's levels.
But I feel I'm on the highest level because I put DJs on. So
that's true.
A lot of talented DJs don't be putting DJs on.
Yeah, the union represent the union DJs, and that's interesting you say that because you put DJs on like Wayne put on Nicki, or Drake, right? But a lot of DJs don't do that because it can be a lot of cutthroat mentality. Because if you get the job, I can't get the job.
So it's really insecurity.
If I'm charging $10, you could come underneath me and charge $5 and cut off my ankles. You know, and then that devalues the position altogether. Because I could get the $5 DJ to emulate the $10 DJ, but it's levels to this.
I got an answer for like the $5 DJ, and shout out to them because they can get better. You know what I mean? It's a lot of DJs that just started DJing and they're not that is good. Yeah. That good, I mean. But it's a saying, free costs too much.
Free costs too much. Break that down.
Free costs too much.
So you get a free DJ.
Free costs too much. Now you got a whack DJ that is don't know the crowd, that don't know how to read the crowd, and you paid this little $100 and the crowd is walking away, or they won't come back to your party.
Right.
Was DJing your way into the culture, but there were other things that you were interested in as well?
Far as DJing, like I grew up in Queens, on the north side of Queens, so I looked up to like the Grandmaster Vicks, the Ike Loves, the Buddha Barbers, D Life, you know what I mean, Dog Times, people like that. You know what I'm saying? And
he went deep.
No, the blends, man.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I can blend too. Like I have a lot of classic blend tapes too. Don't get it twisted. You know what I mean? One of the best mixtape DJs in my time. Because I feel like now mixtapes is like prehistoric.
I feel like it's playlists now.
Yeah,
they call them playlists now. But who was it? Ron G, Clue,
Ron G. Ron G. Mixes 10 and 9. When Miss Jones.
Mixes 10 and 9. You remember the 9?
Ron G.
He got the bad beats.
Yeah, and you remember mixtapes was like $20. $20. Like I used to have to, in my block, we used to share the mixtape. Like a pair of sneakers. Like I'm like, yo, I'm getting mixes. I'm gonna hold mixes 10. Shout out to a person that taught me how to DJ. His name was Duke Diggler. Now,
Duke Diggler.
Yeah. The reason why we used to watch Boogie Nights, pause, because his name was Duke the Black Devil because he's mad black. You know how you in the hood and people used to call it black, so we call him Black Devil. And my name used to be Basketball Jay because I played basketball, and a kid in my hood, his teeth were so big, so they called him J Teeth.
Oh no!
Damn.
Nah, his teeth was humongous. Like you know how the veneers are.
You were Basketball Jay, and he was J Teeth.
No, because it was two J's, so they would separate us. Like yo, Basketball Jay, because I was so good, and then they'd be like, yo, J Teeth. He loved the name though. He still goes to his name to this day.
Well, it was JT, the bigger figure in the Bay, but that he didn't have the ETH on his name.
Yeah, J Teeth. Yeah, so. When I was coming up, I used to listen to the mixtapes, and Duke Diggler used to teach me how to DJ. We used to, because I had the equipment. Shout out to my grandma's. She bought me some Scots, and I had like Scots with the belt drive and all that. So you had to turn the belt drive and all that. So when I went to college, I was playing ball and I broke my ankle, and I was like, wow, I can't even play ball. I'm used to being good since 9 years old in basketball. And that's why I tell a lot of kids, don't rush it. Don't rush greatness. I feel like I could have been better in high school because you in junior high and you gotta it's like LeBron James.
Waited a little bit.
Like Bronny, he gotta go to he's 40 or whatever he's gonna have to give every game all he got. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's a lot of pressure on a kid. So basketball, I broke my ankle. I was like the coach started recruiting over me, and I brought my turntables up, and I actually lied in college and said that. I had asthma, so they gave me a medical room because I'm a people person, but I'm a Leo, so I got to really get to know you. So that's always been my life. So after my friend that went to school with me, I got him. I was so good that I got him in college, and he didn't even have a high school diploma.
What do you mean?
What?
Yo, I swear to God. I swear to God. Shout out to
the other college scam.
No, it wasn't even a scam. I didn't even know. Like the guidance counselor called me and said, James, Kevin doesn't have a high school diploma.
Wow.
And I was like, huh? He's like, yeah, I just missed like 3 classes. I'm like, bro, like, you just, like, so.
Was it English? And
I don't know how he got in, but he got kicked out as soon as that happened. So I had to get a single. And then after that, I broke my ankle, and I was just like, I ain't playing ball no more. I'm like, I'm just sometimes a realist. Like, I don't want to play overseas, and I don't think I'm gonna make the NBA.
Yeah.
So I had my turntables up there, and I used to just DJ parties. And I always been a ladies' man, like a guy. So, the sororities, but hey James, could you DJ our party? Because I was cheap. I'm like whatever.
You was the $5 DJ.
I wasn't. I was actually had a lot of swag, so I guess they really owed me.
$20.
Yeah, $20.
Okay.
So when I came in there, I was DJing. There was this DJ. He passed away. Rest in peace, DJ Bionic Man. And he was like, "Yo, who's that?" And he was like, "That's DJ Basketball Jay." And I was like, he's like, "Yo, you should have got me." And for some reason, doubt. Like, really, I don't like when people big me up too much. I love when you big me up, the whole Sway in the Morning. But back then, I used to hate people bigging me up. So when he said he doubted me, that made me go even harder. So after that, I went so hard, I started doing all the parties. I did college radio, bringing the crates. I was under a person named Wood Salim, and we did the midnight run. I was doing college radio. And I always used to talk in the cafeteria and be like, yo, watch what I do the Spring Fest, because the Spring Fest was like the concert. And when I was in college, records you had to pay for. So I used to call all the record labels and act like I was a big station. But I was a college station. I was like, hey, yo, this is our Jet
from
WBNY. And they was like, oh, what's the call numbers? I was like, WBNY. All right, we'll send the records. So Def Jam started sending. And then they started calling me like, yo, can you get an interview with Nori and Foxy? I was like, oh, all right. So boom, shout out to Nori. This is like 8 years ago. I told Nori that story. I interviewed Nori in college. So when he came, he had a cigarette. He was like, what the fuck is this? Why are we in a college station? And I was like, yo, I just want to interview you. He's like, where you from, man? He's, where you from, shorty? I was like, I'm from Queens. He's like, where? I was like, and it wasn't called Northside. I was like, I'm from Southside. He was like, oh, my uncle from South. All right, man, let's do the fucking interview.
He did that. Yeah. Sound like Nori.
Shout out to Nori.
The cigarette, the whole night.
Yeah, he had the cigarette. He was like, the fuck is, what are we in?
But
like,
he did the interview, though.
Yeah.
That's something to be said.
Personality.
Because, that's Nori. You know what I mean? He didn't have to do that.
Yeah, and it was millions of thugs, so I thought I was going to get beat up.
Yeah,
I was a kid, so they ain't really messing me up. So when I was in the cafeteria, I was like, yo, I'm going to blow up, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And they was like, yo, my African man, his name was Bam. And he would really speak African. He'd be like, yo, you think you all that? You should call yourself SuperstarJay. I was like, wow, SuperstarJay sound way better than Basketball Jay. And the girls like Superstar, and that's how my name came.
SuperstarJay, man. Y'all love that story.
Yeah.
When I hear your story about DJ Bionic, man.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. It makes me think of this book. He has a book called DjLilJay. Round of applause for that. This dude is an author now. And in the book, you hear the story of DjLilJay.
He was like, yo, he kept on calling me like, yo, Jay, won't you do a book? And I'm like, man, a book? Like, what am I gonna do in a book? He like, man, just you did all this for the hood, because I do a lot and put a lot of people on. And he kept on calling me. He actually was out on not Hollywood. I was just like, I don't know what to say. He was like, yo, just think about it and write it. And I thought about my uncle giving me techniques. I thought about all the trials and tribulations of me being a DJ, and even when we was talking about other DJs not putting you on. And me just being motivated, because the reason why I started the union, I didn't start the union, the reason why I joined the union was DJ Self. I met DJ Self, and DJ Self was like, yo, I was hot on the mixtapes, and they had like, he's like, I want you to join my team. And anybody that knows Self just says something, but he doesn't really give you the whole story. So I went, it was like some fraternity thing. So I went in the thing, they like, so what would you do for the union? I was like, huh? Like, Self said I'm down. He's like, so shout out to DJ Will.
Well, hold up, man. That sounds like some blood oath or something right there. Man.
I swear I was in a room. No, it wasn't no creepy joint.
There wasn't no skull and crossbone signs on the wall.
No Illuminati.
It was definitely no creep show.
Hey, was Self wearing a robe with a hood?
No, he actually left. Yo, you know what he did? He actually left the room.
Yeah, that's
and I
what
was
they
like,
do.
yo, what the? I'm like, so I'm talking. So shout out to DJ Will, the CEO, co-CEO of the union, and Will comes from partying. Self's whole story that he made the radio from DJing in clubs. So they hot in the clubs. I'm just coming from college. I'm hot on the mixtapes now. I'm SuperstarJay. So I'm real hot on the mixtape. So I'm like, he like, so what would you bring to the table? I just me being a Leo, I said, what you bring to the table?
Ooh. Big Leo energy.
And shout out to DJ S1. S1 was like, yo, that's SuperstarJay. Yo, and I was like, yo, man, I don't know what I bring, but I like you guys. I don't know who you are, DJ Will, but, we can all get together and make this happen. And it was 4 other DJ. I was like, I walked out the room. I said, I ain't make this shit. I'm going home. So when I was driving home, S1 was like, you made it. And I that was when I
That's how
thought
you
people
joined the
doubted
union.
me. Yeah.
This is big. Now, SuperstarJay, we discussed he has an energy drink.
Yes.
One more rep. I got it right here.
Yes,
there's
sir.
only 1 or 2 people from our community that has energy drinks.
Yes, Method Man. Shout out to Method Man.
Method Man and SuperstarJay. Get your health right. I watched this man transform his body. You should have saw him before. He was like squiggly.
Yeah.
Now look at him.
Squiggly.
All right. So
Yeah.
get the one more rep. I want to talk. This book is.
Yes.
This book kind of is a semi-autobiographical in the sense that these stories I could tell are related to your own life. This kid, Lil J, wanting to be a DJ and going to school on his first day, people laughing at him because he's dressed up as a DJ.
Yeah.
And when he says in career day, I want to be a DJ, nobody believes him. Everybody doubts that he can do it until he has his time to shine.
Yes.
Right? It sounds like that's part of your story. It's always a learnable moment in these children's stories that I think are more effective than some of the things they find at school because they got identified with these stories. When I think of my McBride collection of stories, I've seen some people who do publishing independently over the years, but I never understood how they did it. Most people go to these big publishing houses, but that's not necessary. So I want to welcome you to the show. All right.
Thank you for having me.
What's your full name, man?
My name is Hedrick McBride.
What was that?
Hedrick McBride.
Hedrick.
Yep. I've been called a lot of things in my life.
I ain't gonna do it to you today, man. It's our first time. When did you first get the idea of just publishing literature?
I've been publishing for 10 years now.
Wow.
The thought came from just being a parent, reading books to my daughter, not able to find characters and stories that she could relate to. So that's how I really started the journey. So 10 years later, we have 105 books.
Wow.
Throughout the country, nationwide. We're in the school system in a lot of places. And like you said, the key is diversity. We're trying to get our black and brown kids primarily to get back into reading. Because I was a school teacher for 5 years in Brownsville, 5th grade, and I'll tell you, our reading levels, black and brown kids, are lower than the counterparts, white, Indian, Chinese. And I wanted to find out why. And the kids said, because the books are not about us. They're not for us. So why do I want to read about somebody else's life? So that's how the journey began.
Well, let me ask you this, because we talk about proprietorship and ownership, but we often have to collaborate with others to get, who have an infrastructure, a back end. You created it on your own publishing company. What are the mechanics of that? Because folks don't believe we can do this, right? How did you do it?
Well, in this day and age, it's pretty easy to start your own products and create your own things, but the roadblock that people hit a lot is marketing.
Okay.
Marketing, that's usually where people would stop, because they're like, I have a product, but what am I going to do with it? And those major corporations are the ones who have the marketing dollars and have the campaigns. So a lot of people are very creative and create great products and just hand over the rights, hand over the percentages to the major companies.
Hand over the rights and hand over the percentages.
Correct. Because the type of books that we write would probably get rejected by a major publishing company because they're empowering and educating minority kids.
Okay.
A lot
Because
of
of the book has power in it with the education, they get rejected? Is that what you're saying?
They may get rejected or they may get altered. So they might have told Jay, instead of his character overcoming the bullying, maybe smooth the storyline a little bit less. So it's not as deep.
Yeah, my storyline was crazy. He was fighting and all that, but he said he just went to an editor and they edited my whole story.
Lil J was fighting an initial. Okay.
It's just like they was trying to beat him up and he had a fight. He was like, that ain't gonna go down.
Okay. That couldn't happen in the book. But that happens in people's everyday lives when you grow up in our community, right?
Right.
For sure.
Hedrick McBride is his name. Look up when people want to find. You got 110 books.
Tell them the people that you wrote books with. I'm sorry.
Okay, so the reason I was able to break through is the partnership, similar to Jay. My first partnership was with Ron Artest, Meta World Peace.
My God, man. Jeez.
We went to high school together. LaSalle. We played ball together.
QB?
Yes. I'm from Left Rack, but
Left Rack. That's Nori from Left Rack, right?
Yeah, I grew up with Nori.
Okay.
So we started Ron Artest. We had 5 books published. I published with Yandy Smith, her blended family book.
Yeah.
Amara La Negra. My son, his I Know My Rights book was #1 for 2 years. So we published that around the George Floyd time. So that was like a top seller. Jay, SuperstarJay, the Ellis family. I did the Kid Champs with Nori and EFN.
Oh, you did the Ellis family.
Deval Ellis and Kaveen Ellis.
Fire.
I published their children's book as well.
Dope.
So that's what helps me with my marketing, because all these people have millions of followers.
They need a Sway book. I want to see Sway young.
A young Swiggity book?
Yeah,
oh, man, I got a ton of stories. Heather vouched for this. A lot of victory stories. Overcoming, that's how I got here stories.
For sure. We need a McBride stories.
Yo, maybe my daughter and I could write something with.
Oh.
Actually, my
girl dad.
Actually, my daughter's in the book. That's his next door neighbor. Oh no, his cousin, right? His neighbor.
Jayla?
Jayla. Yeah, my daughter's name is Jayla.
Superstar Jayla?
Superstar. That's what she called herself in school. Superstar Jayla. I actually put her on the phone with Ice Spice, and Jayla turned into somebody I didn't know. She just got on the phone and said, "Get anything I want, Dad," and was talking to Ice Spice. I was like, "You're 9 years old," but shout out to Superstar Jayla. She's listening too.
I want to talk more about it. I want to read something from the book that if you have children, these are I looked over your collection. These are great books that your kids can learn by when they're not at school. Like you got to continue to teach us. You almost got to flush out the information that the school taught, indoctrinated your kid with information that you have. But there's a part in this book where Lil Jay wanted to be a DJ at a party, and he spoke to Superstar Jayla and his mom about how his classmates weren't believing his dreams. And so imagine kids growing up in our urban areas, so-called urban areas, and I've had people tell me my dreams were impossible. Think about how many times somebody laughed at your dream. But in this, it says his mom and best friend were there for him. They said he didn't have to ask for other people's permission to be his best. He just had to be himself. Where do you find that, right? It says he didn't have to mope because people didn't think his dreams could be achieved. He just had to work even harder to make sure that the dream happened. He didn't have to worry about the color of his skin or how much money he had to be a great DJ. He just had to stick with people who loved him. Come on, man. That's the kind of messaging we want to have. Man, that's great. You wrote that?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm shout out to McBride. I call him Heads, but he really led me the way. He said, just write whatever you want and we'll fix it up. And they fixed it up. And, a lot of people buying the book,
Where they buying? How can they buy the book?
It's available on Amazon. Also, McBrideStories.com, my website, but Amazon primarily.
Okay, DjLilJay is the name of the book. DjLilJay.
Yes.
Ted, I love this, especially because, myself and our producer, Torch, and actually the whole Sway in the Morning team, we speak about how important it is to learn about all these different careers, because a lot of times when it comes to Black people, it only be like 4 that seem to be celebrated, and they're all attached to entertainment. Everybody has a story, without a doubt, but not everybody knows how to craft a compelling story on page. Right. What would you say are the keys to that?
My secret sauce, so to speak, is creating an outline. Because when you create an outline, it's pretty much the skeleton for your book, and you're going to have your main ideas in the outline, and then you'll fill in the little details in between. So the outline is like the secret to the success.
And I also think it's important to shout out, a lot of times with books, it's okay to have a helper. Sometimes when we see whether it's Jay-Z or whether it's Gabrielle Union, it can be a collaborative effort with putting together a book. A ghostwriter, so to say, doesn't just have to be helping you with your lyrics. Can you speak about that too, and maybe shout out some of the writers that are part of your publishing company?
Definitely is a collaborative effort. Some people want to write the whole thing themselves, like Deval Ellis wrote his book from cover to cover.
Wow.
But other people have the ideas, and I just kind of got it. We do hire ghostwriters here and there. But for the most part, the information is coming straight from the person. Like Jay's book came straight from him. It was his story.
Beautiful.
So we just, like he said, he gave me the meat and potatoes.
Coming from where I'm from to write a book, yeah, I feel good, yo.
Sure.
Thank you.
I love what you said.
Congratulations, bro.
Can you just even in more detail talk about the disparity in reading and comprehension between black and brown kids and others?
For sure. And it's like an epidemic in the lower income neighborhoods. Like my school was in District 18, so that's Brownsville. So they have state exams that start from third grade up. So based on these state exam scores is how prisons are built. So they pretty much telling you if you're not succeeding by 5th grade, you're going to be a statistic. You might drop out by high school. So they getting jails ready for you. And the thing about literacy that's so important is literacy, it determines your whole education. Because if you can't read, how are you going to answer a math word problem?
Yes.
Because you don't even know what the question is asking you.
Mm-hmm.
So that literacy piece is so important. And with technology and these things, these kids get information so quickly, but they don't know how to process it. They don't even understand what they're getting. So we got to plant these seeds early. That's why we try to create the bright visuals. So we have these kids wanting to read by age 2 and 3. They see those characters. They want to read a book.
Are you still in the classroom, or do you miss it if you're not still there every day?
I'm a consultant now. So I stopped teaching every day, but I'm able to reach more kids.
Dope.
Congratulations. Jay is also just became a vendor with the DOE, so he's going to be in the schools with workshops, teaching kids how to DJ.
Education.
Oh, SuperstarJay. You really are a superstar, bro.
Yeah.
Man, you're the superstar. I appreciate Sway always like pulls me to the side and says, yo, man, I love what you're doing. Keep on doing. And this is 3 years, 5 years ago. And I appreciate you because I was like, yo, I got a book. He was like, yo, whenever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's like, yo, just hit me, Jay. You know what I mean? What's going on?
Yeah.
And, you know, even with the workout thing, like, you know, Sway came in all swole and I'm all, you know, and I'm like,
you see me what I could be. You see my potential.
What I could be.
No, you already got it. He's front right now. And we was just talking about working out and, you know, just even being a vendor, like, you know, a lot of DJs don't know about being vendors. Like, you know, it's a lot of money in a board of ed. You know, people are chasing clubs when you could do 80 proms. You know what I'm saying? And,
my God.
You know what I mean? And this is where it comes from with me putting all my DJs on. I'm probably the only I would say shout out to Flex because he has he has a new crew now, but we're like the only black crew in New York City. And shout out to DJ Enough, my brother. And, you know, we have white DJs, we got Asian DJs, and I always talk about the numbers. Like, I can come in and do a magazine by myself, but if I'm with 30 other people, why not? And that's what VIP Saturdays is. Like, I put over 55 DJs on air. You know what I'm saying? Like, so every DJ on the union is on the air and rocking out.
Selfless.
And shout out to Ron Mills. Ron Mills was like, yo, you know what I mean? And J1, and, you know, I was like, yo, I'll take some of my. And J1 started from the union mix.
I didn't know that.
You know, J1 started from the union mix, and he was just an up-and-coming DJ. Now J1 is the head of Pandora right now. You know what I'm saying?
Pandora programming. Salute to that kid. Salute to Ron Mills. SuperstarJay, salute to you. I want to thank you, man, for coming by, brother.
You got to use that BpiSports.
Oh, yeah. I'm on it. I'm about to change. I'm about to transform my body.
Oh,
yeah.
All right.
I've heard that before.
He got it.
That's why these books, Hedrick. That's why I'm glad you making these books, because of doubters like this. You can read a book like this and get your confidence up. Congratulations to you. Let's maintain the connection.
Yes.
All right. McBride Collections of Stories. Or McBrideCollection.com. Or
McBrideStories.com.
McBrideStories.com. Go to Amazon, pick up the book, DjLilJay.
DjLilJay, y'all.
Can you hang out for a minute?
Yes.
Grip the MC is here.
Yes. Oh,
He's
shout
from
out to
Atlanta.
Grip.
Yeah, we might need some beats for him.